Hello everybody, this is Molly. Well, I have one more little mini album to show y'all. I just finished it and I hope you like it. I used the paper line that was from My Mind's Eye. It's called Sunshine. I have it in the Breeze collection in the 6x6 and 12x12s, and I just love them. Now this one is just with the Sunshine collection. So now you know I keep things kind of tailored and all, but of course it's got some hand-dyed seam binding here. I used a BoBunny naked 6x6 inch chipboard thing album. It's got a canvas edge to it, and then you cover all the rest of it with paper. And this right here, I did a little charm, kind of stolen the idea from Stefo Gal, where I used a bottle cap here, put something in it, and then put a little flower on it. Pretty little piece of filigree there. It's got a button on one side. Can you see how cute those buttons are? And then just one of the brads here. And one of the things I loved about the line is it had some cute buttons and some cute brads and just a bunch of cute embellishments. So it was really easy to do, kind of just, you know, stick and paste thing on there. Now this little closure that I did, I used the one that we learned on one of the young ladies tutorial, where you just use an upside down eyelet, stick your brad through it, and then you're able to close your brad on the other side. Let's see if I can find it without looking here. Okay, let me get those out of the way. And then I hid where the brad opens, you know, the little prongs open right there. I hid that under a button. So on the first cover page, as opposed to the second cover page, anyway, on the first cover page, I clustered a little bit. This is one of the little layered die cuts from the line, and then just used a lot of little flowers that I had. And of course, here's one of the little buttons, another little button from the line, little bitty rose, and then some buttons out of my stash. And then a leaf stick pin that I got from I don't know where, but it sure is pretty. This next page I made was an envelope page. Isn't that cute? And just used the paper. Now this paper I used the 12x12 to do, so you could get the pretty big floral there. And then just cut myself an album out of it. On the flap of the album I put one of the little die cuts that I bought from them. And then of course it's got the simplest of little mats in there for pictures. Oh, can I get it to go back in? I struggle with some of that. Oh, well, just pull it out. One-handed's hard. And then you'll see again, I use some of the brads there to make the little catches for the string. I'm trying to look through the lens here and do these things. Okay, so that's a pretty little album. On the back of the album, the paper was just as pretty on the back, the way it folded up. I cut some mats out of the 6x6 paper. Used again some flowers that I had. Pretty brad in the middle. This is just how the flower came. And then here's some more of the dyed seam binding. And what I did here was actually tied a little knot there and tied a little knot there to give the leaf a little bit more of a, you know, rounded shape or something. Frayed the edges a little bit, but I thought it was a little interesting. And then this one I just tied a knot in the middle of the thing and stuck the two edges out that way. So I thought that was cute. This piece right here was actually one of the tags that some of the embellishments came on. So I just trimmed it down to make a tag. Can you see the journaling lines on it? Trimmed it out with some paper. Again, here's one of the little die cuts from the line. One of my flowers. Then of course layered some flowers and buttons there. So this is that little piece of, you know, actually one of the scraps that I had. I covered. Here's another piece, the back of it I just covered with some of the 6x6 paper and use one of the near solid brads there. Here's the next page. This is the paper actually came, and then I just layered one of the little die cut pieces on top of there. Trimmed out a little, you know, photo mat there. Thought it was pretty. I love the paper line. Isn't that cute? The next page, these right here are out of the die cut sheets, and what I did was I took a piece of twine or whatever you call that, kind of waxed thread. I laid it on the table, and then I stuck these things on there every so often, and then picked it up, and it let me make my little rounded shape there. They're only stuck down halfway, so I'll be able to stick my picture underneath there. You can see right there how cute that is, and it says too cute. So I think that's a cute page. This one right here, I used an envelope, just a craft colored envelope. And all these pages, this page right here and the first page that you saw were chipboard. And of course I've got the tags and things in the middle that I made. This page I made with the craft envelope. I sealed the envelope, and then I cut the edge of it off. Cut two little triangles off the corners. You know, so now I've got an open edge this way. Cut the two triangles. Flipped one back this way and one back that way. and kind of copied the idea from what Stephanie had done with some paper bags that she had used. So I thought that was cute. So I placed that, one of the die cuts there, just a simple little mat. Isn't that cute? The little Brad, love you. And then of course, pretty little mat that I stuck in there. And it just sticks out enough to make a border there. Back of the page, again, I just love the buttons. You tried to catch the picture pretty here and then made myself a little corner there. Simple page here. These are some of the flags that come with the embellishment line. Once I put my picture on, I'll need to attach those down because you can see they're wanting to curl. They're pretty lightweight, but cute there. Put little buttons on the frame there. Caught the edge of the print of the paper there. And just a simple little mat there, but I think it came out kind of cute. This is probably the simplest page. Got a little die cut border there, mat, and then in that button, cute. It came from the line. And again, some of that wax thread string. This right here was actually a transparency that I bought, you know, when I bought the line, and liked it. So I just cut a piece of pattern paper the same size as it, poked some holes, put it through there, and then on the back side of it, I made myself a corner, you know, punched the edge, put it on black paper so it'd show up, and then took a piece of the paper and made myself a mat. And I had a piece of fabric that was in a pretty soft color green, so I just tore myself a strip of it, tied it in a knot in the back underneath there, and so it made kind of leaf shapes. I like the fabric touch, and then layered up a couple of flowers, used one of the brads, and then the back is just a pretty little plaid paper. So it came out kind of simple, but I'm trying to get a little bit more daring with layering and things. Still pretty tailored, but trying. Okay, this next page it had a crochet flower. Isn't that cute? And then one of the little buttons that came with the line is a flower shaped button, so that was cute. That's actually on the paper, and I love the color, so cheery and cool for summer. And then right here, okay, this is the printed paper, 6x6. Just put myself a corner there, but these two things were actually the cards that the buttons came on, and they had just a wonderful retro look. Well, I couldn't stick them in there with just all the buttons on them. That seemed like a waste. Certainly couldn't throw away. So what I did after I took the buttons off was I just cut a little mat to fit in the hole where all the button holes are. Did the same for this one. Cut a little mat, you know, kind of cut through there so you'd still read the words. Glued those down, and just love how they came out on there. Just covered the back with some fabrics and things. A little butterfly button there, a little piece of lace, pennant. Just covered those, so they'll make cute little mats and all, but I just love the look of those button cards. And my mom and, you know, I had started sewing when I was just young, like, you know, 5 or 6, and making my own clothes by the time I was probably in 2nd or 3rd grade. You can only imagine what they look like, but anyway, I love sewing. I've always loved buttons, so I couldn't throw those away. The next page, just cut out a piece of paper to look like a pennant, stuck one of the die cuts on there, stuck one of those corner pieces that I made there, so I made a pretty simple page. And then the last page, whoop, kind of coming apart over there, one of the black prints that I showed. I love the little ditzy print. This was one of the die cuts I bought for with the line, Such a Lovely Day. Used one of the wooden buttons, some more of the seam binding. Just put a pretty little turquoise mat in it. I hope I'm not going in and out of camera too bad for you. And then I just cut a flower shape out of a spellbinder die I had, you know, so they go like this. Put some different little ribbons and rickracs and things on the back of it. Ooh, look at that pretty shiny gold. Used a brad right there. And then that pokes in there. And then the last page, this is as pretty as the paper is. Haven't done too much there because the paper's so pretty. I used seam binding here along the back to cover up where I joined the papers, and then just on this on the inside I used some pretty, I think it was American Crafts, that had this pretty little embroidered lace I loved. Punched a hole right there, stuck one of the big eyelets, you know, we remember Keeper's eyelets through it. Put myself some ribbon through there because I could not find my Tim Holtz hooks. And then that's what makes my tie. And it works sometimes. So very, very simple book. Hope you enjoyed it. I love the paper line. Just too easy to put together. Just absolutely too easy to put together. Ladies and gents, I hope you like it. Love when you leave comments. And don't forget to stop over by my blog. I've got some still pictures of this. and it's I Love Mini Albums. Excuse me, let me do that again. I Love Mini Albums.blogspot.com, and you can see some stills of it. And thank y'all so much for watching, and thank you again very, very much for the comments, and for all of y'all who I was inspired by, all the wonderful artists. Thank y'all very, very much for sharing your work. Bye.